So many important events to celebrate, and only one DJ.
Your DJ has only just begun.
Me never call it crime pan a scene. Me never say he locked up. No. Me never take $1 for a drink. Politicians them love actor. And the youths them a feel it. That's why me reveal it. So we live it day to day to day. This are no category. This are the real story. Sufferation stay long time away from my family, living day to day. Gotta make ends meet. Give thanks to Life Luton for represent Mindset every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. UK time. IjahStars, tell it to them. Free mind, free souls, free spirit. That's it.
I mean, be a positive people part. Drive out the car. Who am I a roll? No, IjahStars. You don't know so the mindset each and every Wednesday. IjahStars, lead the people in the right way. That's how we stay. And Zabri, bam, bam, bam.
X. Tread. I ain't not treat if you not listen IjahStars. But mindset.
Rock them and crack them. You're in tune to the mindset. Let the action speak. Do something that's timeless. Rock them and crack them. Jabari representing IjahStars. You can fall.
Well, my name is Reech Stevens, and right now I want to hear them know say a vertical messiah scene. So lock into Mindset every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. That scene. So hear you know. Let's drink to the hard-working people. Let's drink to the lowly of earth. Raise your glass to Mindset the greatest, and let's drink to the championess.
K-R-E. Hey, IjahStars. It's the mindset. Free your mind. Free your mind. Mindset. Free your mind. Free your mind. Hey, not everything that glitter is gold. Everything that's gold.
Me I tell you. Mindset.
Yeah, man, some said the rod of the wicked shall never prosper against the righteous, unless the righteous place his or her hands unto iniquity, then they too shall go down into a pit. And I say, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what tomorrow may bring. Let the people praise thee, and not thy own mouth, a stranger, and not thy own lips. A stone is heavy, but the sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. And I say, wrath is cruel, but anger is outrageous. Who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Cut and clear. Cut and clear. Cut and clear.
mindset. Mindset.
It's a long time now since we left over yard. It's a long time now. Yes, blessed love, pleasant good evening, good afternoon, good morning if it's morning where the item is. This is a mindset program. IjahStars, I'm your host. On a Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, we're there, Zine, and I want to greet the item in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor IjahStars the First, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, light of this world, His own divine majesty Emperor IjahStars Jah, Rastafari, Empress Menin, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Warm welcome, and give thanks for taking the time. Yeah, man. One more day above ground, and it's beautiful. Not no more precious than life. See, as we hear the hymn, the Nyabingi drum sound. Just now, it's a long time now since we left we yard and we want to go home. See? Yeah, through 7 or 9 miles or even 13 miles of high water ship. You see me I say, but plane is also now available. So even if I buy plane, we want to reach home. You see me I say? Yeah, as the man did say, even if we could have find a plane ticket individually, with family, if we reach home, we must do so. You understand? So we want to go home, international repatriation, redemption, 4 wings of the earth. You see me I say? Yeah, we want to reach home, I and I out here in the diaspora, black African children, seeing sons and daughters, prince and princesses, kings and queen, emperor and empresses. Yes, we agitate for that right, Zine, for us to reach home because it was taken out of our motherland, our Zion, our heaven, Zine, illegally, and we must return. Zine, yeah, we must return any means necessary, and that is what we're agitating for. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. We have a special guest on the program today, virgin by the name of Jerome Siege Butler. All right, he's a dub poet, also a reggae artist. Zine, so we have him live on the program, and we are going to link up with him in a little bit from now. Zine, me see the item in the chat room. I want to say manners and respect to everyone who take the time out today. Zine, Rasmaisha, Empress Levi, bless up yourself, manners and respect. Zine, yes I. So we are going to link up with Jerome in a short moment. The item just go and vibe to the Bingy. Zine, yeah. Yes, Jerome, we're there, man, we're there. I can't see the eye. Yes, I can't see the eye, my lord. Yeah, wherever you go, Rastafari, you watch your zine. Yeah, you know, sir, I don't know, where I get a serious struggle, zine. I get a serious struggle technicality-wise today. I don't know why. I suspect it's probably because of Jerome, you know, them know the heat that Jerome is going to bring to this platform here in the day. So, them I try every little thing for, you know, interrupt, you know what I mean? Interrupt the energy and the vibration. I'm supposed to can see Jerome. I can see him on my, you know, I can see him where I am. But the item who up on YouTube supposed to can see him. But for some reason, you know what I mean, the thing I show me say, boy, me nah see the man. So I don't know, but the voice is more important, I think, right about now, other than the visual, because them are try to stop everything, but it don't seem like them can stop the voice. So the man gave the word, and great are the company of those who publish it. So without no further delay, I want to welcome Jerome Siege Butler to the Mindset program. Not the first time. One welcome, my brother.
Always honor and king, majestic and, you know, upful every time, you know what I mean? We just forward through words, sound and power, same way. It don't matter whatever it is, because I guess sometimes the system believes that when people do work of such, it's just an ego game, you know? But humility is not a word you write up on a wall. It comes to a state of being, you know what I mean? We never need to be humble, because we never can have nothing but just life itself. So I just say I look out of my eyes, listen with my ears, and speak with my mouth. You don't need a license for that.
Rastafari. Yes, my king, cause you know what I mean, is like, boy, is a uphill struggle, my lord. You know what I mean, with this technical, you know, with these gadgets nowadays, because you know them present all these things for you to use as tools, and then when you want to use them, you know what I mean, they're not functioning, you know, the way them supposed to function. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, it's so weird, because I'm a person, I have deep connection with a lot of things, right? And you know, I know sometimes the AI, you know, I think sometimes it takes a while to process certain things, because even prejudice arises in the AI as well, right? And the research proves that, and their own end results of what they've been acting prove that. So all these things are AI. They are not just technically some, you know, stuff that we use. They are artificial intelligence. And so when the artificial intelligence, you know, don't comprehend certain things, it's like it's a remote sensor of the overlords, you know. Not to say it's not independent in its own regard, just machine learning, but sometimes it takes a while, you know. More time we have to go through the rough patches, because we're doing videos on Sealer Media and then Share Life. I had problems uploading, you know, simple, just videos, simple stuff, and so I realized that, you know, it's just like life, you know. There will be struggles and there will be moments where some energy interfere. But, you know, back in the days I used to be so angry at that. And it's not that I reach some great level that I'm talking like I'm floating on a cloud. No, it's really like, I was talking to someone yesterday and I was like, you know, sometimes when you speak up for certain things, and the ignorance of some people just want to hurt you for their own misunderstanding.
Yes, Baba.
You never know, might watch some videos, something program or somebody punch a button and them algorithm, and them a jam my frequency without merit or cause, you know. But the beauty of the Most High is that, you know, I guess that's a true humility is to persevere. So if I don't really feel no way about it, and I shouldn't feel no way, because actually I wear my face from the face, I know
Rastafari, a reality. Yeah, a reality. But is it true them have this this whole virtual reality now, and you know this is the direction that you know them are push things, see, as they speak about the artificial intelligence and the prejudice within that, and then you have to say, boy, Jano, this is artificial, you know. Why they even build it with such with prejudice within it, my lord. You know what I mean?
Well, they would say they never built it with no prejudice, but psychology, I realize that they who instructed are prejudice. That's where the prejudice comes from. The AI honors its masters, and you know, it's set in motion by its masters' algorithms, you know. So it
True.
develops prejudice, you know. See, even with some technical stuff in Jamaica, my music is on the major platform, but you can't buy from certain platforms in Jamaica. I'm black here.
See it?
Some things that these guys came up with from a place that has so much to do with music, and you're gonna block us accessing music from here. It's just we are posting stuff online from here, and you're gonna block that music you know, service here. It's like, to me, I'm like, I know sometimes people say, you know, it's just these guys up top, you know, not even being in touch with reality, but I need somebody to touch them and pinch them and remind them about, you know, Jacob Miller, Bob Marley, you know, Thurs and the Mutabaruka, because I think those people really, I thought they made an impact in their society, you know, but I think that they seem to have forgotten that we're actually, you know, very cognitive individuals down here in Jamaica. We're not island of, you know, what they want to say, you know, scammers, you know, or technical dunce or something. So they're placing us in a box like about 100 years behind, which we are not. You know what I mean? If they're talking about the reach of their technology, 2-year-olds are playing with the latest phone. They play with it because their parents are tired of just giving them fake stuff. What am I saying? I'm saying that the children at 2 years old know a fake phone from a real phone. They don't want a fake phone. So what are you hyping about? You understand me? Soon technology is going to be obsolete to this level. This level of playing around with just some video images is going to be backwards in time to come. Hologramic projections, I've said this in poems years ago. Hologramic projections and all sorts of strange injections. The astral vortex open up. The people are lost. Oh my God, you know what I mean? We already know that it's going to get here. And being that it's here now, you know, racism and this cultural prejudice is still affecting us in Jamaica, in that we are a conscious group of people who have offered so much to the experience of the human family, but yet still, you know, they're playing these games with us, you know, based upon their own, you know, ignorance and lack of understanding.
Yes, I.
Willingness to even overstand anything, you know.
True. Jerome, is it possible to turn up the volume on your side? I think the mic, I'm not sure. Ones are saying that they can't really hear the eye that 100%.
Okay, is this any clearer?
Yes. That sound, well, to me that sound more powerful, you know? Yeah. Yes, I.
Okay, I think maybe my background might be a little bit noisy, but since
yes,
it's gonna be in our video, I can go into a quieter, you know, background area.
True.
So I think that might be affecting them.
Yes,
I. Majesty.
Yes, I. Powerful. So I mentioned something that is very important, you know what I mean? Because a place like Jamaica, the birthplace of reggae music, which is one of the most dominant genre in music right now. A lot of different genre take from reggae music. Then it look a way that in Jamaica it is a difficult thing to get on the platforms like say what you call it now, a Spotify, or you know, these if you're not in America or these places, you can't really get these.
Music is one of them, yeah.
Seeing that no look you know, that no look good. What is, you know, the people like the Ministry of Culture then in Jamaica, because they are the one who's supposed to be you know, align with these outside entities to see that you know, these things are accessible to the artists them in Jamaica.
You know, I absolutely agree. I mean, I'm sure the people who are in the government ministries dealing with entertainment and culture would say that they're dealing with a lot of these issues. And then sometimes the people who are in these, even these licensing agencies in Jamaica, I don't know if they find it necessary to really speak about these things. You know, I recently called up one of those very agencies and, you know, they're running their procedure by me. So I just simply made mention of another international, of an international organization who does the same thing and their requirement. They were so, you know, sharp and contrite me about it, you know. And I said to the person, I'm just simply cross-referencing information. As it is on the international scene, I'm just seeking to see what standards there are, all right? Because I'm just becoming an official, you know, recording artist in terms of having releases, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the business of music I'm talking about. I'm not talking about being an artist or being a song.
Yes.
You got to release that. It's licensed and nobody can just go play you, stuff like that. So, you know, I wasn't pleased with the information I was getting. So why am I even saying that? I'm saying that to say this. I think a lot of the people who deal with the cultural and the legal issues of our music in Jamaica and these agencies aren't quite aware or don't really care because maybe they have American access. Because remember, sometimes, you know, we have dual citizenship for someone, some have relationships and they have American credit cards. So sometimes you can do things based upon having that connection to the metropolis, you know, the super state. So they don't necessarily face the plight of just a regular music user or somebody who would like to view their music on one of these platforms, you know. And so I'm saying that to say that where we are currently of looking at our music in terms of what the government is telling us, oh, we are at a professional level, we want to raise standards. How can you raise standards when even the basic standards that are there, you aren't even upkeeping, right? Where is the advice that we get as artists in any semblance of getting our product to market in a marketable way? And I'm not talking about when they say to us, "Wow, you're too violent in your lyrics," or "It's too vulgar." That is a negative reinforcement of something. I'm talking, where is the positive reinforcement? And I'm not talking when they're private individuals who do workshops and seminars. I'm talking about these agencies that still do not understand what it takes from the first stage of writing a song to recording it to getting it released international. They don't know how much steps it takes, and they do not know what the artist has to go through. And if you're claiming that you want to develop your industry, you don't even know that, then that is why the international marketplace is treating us like we are backwards, because it seems the people here do not understand this isn't a business of personal opinion. We still have people in Jamaica thinking about, oh, a Rasta, a dreadlocks, a this, a that, a that, a that, and that. And I can't see how they're not professional enough to understand the brand recognition, and standards connected to a brand. That you are just demoting your own brand, your own quality, your own value, right? Because of your own personal view of the individuals or of the philosophy or of the way of life of Rastafari, right? So the music was once called mafia music, this music, that music, to suggest that there wasn't any vivid professional structure. Once I had a friend in poetry that said, music business has nothing, no professionalism, no nothing, no structure, no nothing. I wouldn't say that it has no structure. I would say the structure is too simple and too entrenched in a certain in-house way. And if you stay amongst each grouping of producers who touch internationally with their releases, you can figure it out. But who really has the time to do that when they have no time for you just based upon talent? You have to have connection and links and this and that and that, you know? So they have set a poor standard. We have set a poor standard here. And that's why the international is dealing with us like this. Because our music is not valued in terms of us. People look at you to see how you treat your own things. That's how they know whether it's valuable or not. And if you're giving your best away, they know you're stupid and you're exploitable, right? And you know that's why they just disregard us, you know.
May I tell you? And that are the reality. That is you know, the word, you know, exploitation. You know, that is what is happening. And I feel like, say, boy, some of the people there in Jamaica who are in the position to create change for the music, you know, they are getting a slice of this, a slice of the pie, holding down youth that is coming up in the music, because the age that we're in now, it's all about streaming. You know, everything is digital. Then, so if the youths them do not have the platform, then where they can stream, where people can go and stream their music, then you're restricting these artists from enhancing on an economical level, because streaming pays. You know what I mean? When you hear an artist streaming 1 million views on Spotify or 1 million views on Apple, these things pay the artist. So if you're restricting that, if you're restricting these platforms, then you're restricting an economical base for the artists them. And Jamaica should do something about that.
That's true. And I know internationally it don't make sense, right? So I know that I've listened to some of the A&R guys, and I understand some of the things they're saying, right? So I know a lot of what's happening to us is not deliberate from their point of view per se. Is that it's like someone is giving something away so cheap, right? And you can bulk buy it and junk sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have made your brand and your quality that way, that it's now in the junk pile or in the bulk market, no one considers it premium anymore or quality. Its lack of consideration of being premium is not based upon its inherent lack of quality. It's that it's not being represented by the people who produce it. So quite frankly, if you won't stand up for standards, for quality assurance, and certain things within your product or your services, right? When it goes to the international market and you have to bulk sell it under some low standards and group it into these little, value added, parts on the shelf, you basically have done yourself a disservice, because you didn't represent your brand in the premium essence of what it takes, meaning register up to the international standards, pay up your taxes, put your music and your product or your service in the highest place of representation, like you do with your tourism market. Put it in such a regard that the people know that you consider it, because you put so much money into it and so much effort into it, and you see it everywhere. The music is only a catalyst to help political campaigns when they feel and deem it necessary, or to promote some kind of systematic message that they think needs to be promoted. But otherwise, the system vilifies the producers of the music, the quality of the music, and the outcomes of the music. When music isn't a theoretics, forms of music is theoretical, but music isn't a theoretics. So I'm surprised that very educated people who understand an international marketplace is willing to ignore an entire economic opportunity just because of their prejudiced views of the major earners. And I wouldn't even say the artists are the major earners, because they just assume the artists are the major earners. So I just think it's an image-based prejudice, not even based in fact. So you see an artist driving in let's just say a drop-top Audi at the latest brand of whatever it is, right? And they're watching just an image. Many times it's on a payment scheme, right? Sometimes it's not even fully paid for. Understand me? Second, it's the image game where people expect the artist to look this way. So many people interpret that they are bravado, boastful, and that they're promoting a life that is far away from anything that is deserving of that amount of attention. So they think it doesn't represent hard work. But yes, they do not know the years the artists have had to construct his craft in Jamaica. We don't have Juilliard, we don't have all these music school in America, we don't have Berkeley, we don't have all these places, right? So because these places transpose to us as going to the studio hours upon hours, day in, day out, for years upon years, and owning your craft by ear. You don't have professors instructing you on the perfect pitch, tonality, key, and tempo, right? We do not have that. The few generation that came out of Edna Manley is minuscule in comparison to the generations before them that have had to study in the hard knock college of creative learning. And that is literally in real time at stage shows, at dance, at these shows, at these fests, at the studio, right? Years and years of effort. Now, when we talk about psychological merit, for any artist to spend that many years working on something, that shows devotion. That shows an ingenious nature and a temperament towards success. They are not just hyped, puffed up individuals, to be honest. They're very highly psychological creatures because that's what it takes to survive. So when the people who represent our music in Jamaica do not understand this, all you see is somebody knock up them head, you claim say it's a big vehicle, you claim to them attack like say them run things, and then they know this from that. And there are always judgmental prejudices when we're talking about an industry, a product, and a service, that especially because of these laws that they currently have, they have just destroyed the service. Ask yourself, this is a part of your economics. Why would you do this if you thought honor and dignity in your own children if they were to take up this? So obviously they don't. So these people at the top don't give one rat's ass about music, the artists, entertainment, quality of entertainment, entertainment that uplifts or educates. They don't care about it one bit. And it's obvious. That is why they are treating our music like this.
So
exactly why.
What they are saying, it's so like, come here you mentioned image, Zane, and we see the type of image that is out there today in the music, but I know the eye is probably talking about the Rasta image that they are prejudiced against in the music. Zane, because a man have him dreadlocks and him praise Selassie and and most of the time these dreadlocks virgin or Rasta virgin are probably the major earners then in the music, in reggae music, if you can put it like that. Some of them are the major earners. See, so we kind of sense the prejudice what the ayah talk about is towards Rastafari in the music. But when you look on it right now, see, we see a lot of recent things happen over the last 2 weeks or a week. Zin? When we speak about image and we talk about Rastafari, Zin, we see Fantan Mojah, a very popular reggae artist, Zin, in the business, and is someone who we know to be a Rastafari artist.
Yes.
Now, is a virgin release a song, not even a song, release a visual recent, and it create an uproar. Seeing that even Mutabaruka had to step in and talk about this thing or denounce. Zin, is it because of probably things like that then? Why you would say the prejudice towards Rasta in the business?
I wouldn't even say that. I would say that that particular imagery more encourages a systematic view of the music. Mass culture is heavily based upon a free and open sexual view. Rastafari was based off of a more modest, religious or spiritual or way of life view of sexual and sexual image. All about family, all about man and woman, all about children, all about generation, and every man and woman of an adult age is understood once in their right mind to have sex. So it is not something that we promote as in that you're trying to tell humans to go and have sex. So let me be very clear, sex is a natural thing.
True.
So if someone makes a song promoting the activity of sex, is he selling sex? How could someone sell sex? It means people are sexually absorbed. And because people are sexually absorbed, and I'm not talking biologically, I'm talking in terms of culture and what is promoted.
Yes,
so
sir.
people being sexually absorbed only love to see representations that relate to their absorption, their obsession. So lots of time Rastaman is chanting about the good images of sex and sexuality, man and his wife, and the beauty of copulation, and the awesomeness of family and relationship. And it goes, nobody really listens because of the over-sexualization of people's perception. So when Rasta is trying to fit that moniker and then go over-sexualize the image of Rasta, because that's all he has done, because he can't over-sexualize Rasta. So Fantan can't bear the burden for Rasta. He just over-sexualized his own image, that's all he has done. And I don't agree with Muta for this attack on him, for no reason why. It is on Fantan Mojah and his team. Ask him why it is that he decided to go that route to get a song across to an audience in its visual representation. And I don't need him to answer that, I can tell you. I've seen it done other ways and they just can't pay any notice. But their over-sexualized mind loves to see women not half naked, not nude, but in a more natural and sexual representation. That's all it was. It was about sex. He's saying he's like a man who's having a lot of sex with a lot of women. In religion, that's called promiscuity. So if you have a problem with the morality, well, speak thus and don't say otherwise. Don't make it be about like it's a lack of quality in musical presentation. Say that you think his choice of this song shows low morality, especially what Rasta has been representing. You know what I say? So right now, I tell you, say, when it comes to our music, too much judgments that's based upon person's personal choices, and you are not talking about the quality or the standard of the music or representing the music in a respectable manner. Because when we are cussed about our little thing, we can do it by turning your mouth to the side. But that very same thing is feeding your children and your generations. So also be very careful when you speak about it in a mass sense. You understand? We can reason about things, we can talk about things. We don't have to just blow off of the handle, right? The people uptown who really control a lot of the money, it's not just the Rasta man where I drive the, what them call a flashy car. Because I say him still have payment on the car enough time. That's why the bank come check them back enough time. Them feel like, they're not going like that. They're not going like them jealous against Rasta and reggae artists. A jealousy, I kill them because a man is going to stand up and show off, say him have a shoes that cost 10,000 US or 1,000 US or 5,000 US. Are you offended when Beyonce does that? Are you offended when Tyler Perry walks in a $50,000 suit? So why are you tripping on a reggae artist, right? And a lot of time, as me say, the thing is a gift too. So I don't want it to say, you know, want people know it's a gift too. So when I go on a jealousy, feeling like so you're going to economically overrun their ideology in this country. So it's just like they feel like if Rasta has money and be able to stand from their economic might, all of a sudden they're going to lose their position of power. So don't make them just tell you it's ideological. When I talk about prejudice that hurts your pocket. Them want to say Rasta broke and nothing. Me not play the opinion of some guy that tries to play like them smart to the system. You know, that's why they don't want to see my image because I not play no game. You understand? Me have to feed them family around here. Right? And then pigeonhole with music like say if you cut off with ear and walk around in a tight pants and go like some freak. A go some people. See? Go and go.
Jerome.
And make the music strive. Yeah.
Yeah, but alright. Me couldn't say Bob Marley in this day and age if Bob Marley was still around in the flesh. Zane? And everyone know him as a Rasta man that do a certain type of music, right? And carry himself a certain type of way. Me can't say Bob really would have put out a visual like, you know, similar to what Fantan put out there. And me can't see that. You know what I mean? I can't agree with the eye still because I wouldn't say it's really an attack when Muta speak out because if if you see these things and you probably not say nothing, probably worse are things that will come. You probably are going to say some of the rest them have sex in these videos, my lad. If you not start curb the thing or bend the tree from early then. Zane, you probably at them thing that it probably are going to lead up to in the next couple of years from now. You know what I mean? Because remember, you know, the people them look up to Rasta, you know, inside and outside of the music, you know. Zane. So when the people them look up to the Rasta artists them in the music now, Zane, them a look for inspiration. Zane, inspiration them a look for, you know, how they can be inspired and how them can change them life, you know. Zane, that is where the Rasta man in the music still, you know, the car. All right, you have people who are no Rasta like that then, Zane, when I praise Selassie and thing, and them have a big problem with the video. Them themselves have a big problem with the video.
All right. So how we look at this now is two ways. Number one, first way, when a person base something up and against saying, from a Rasta man doing such a video, it's suggesting that it's against the strong moral clause that Rasta stand for, right? Mm-hmm. And if a person can stand up and show me, just based upon the video, where this person is basically immoral, right? And you can clearly state that, and it might not be in terms of image, the best image you want to see, but enough man know about multiple wives and such and such. Some may have now got to a shallow minded perspective of some sexual orgy or some view of some sexual kink. So I'm saying if educated people who can look beyond just the surface is going to continuously point us back to surface level analysis, how can we respect ourselves? That's what you're really going to argue about, while there are greater issues that's affecting the very construct of your business and the service that you are offering because of a disunity amongst the members of the fraternity, the industry, the business. That means that there's not even an understanding amongst individuals who say them govern them own thing then, to know how best to deal with the collective. Because these same people is going to talk about, oh, why Fantan the video like that? And they are still supporters of some of the most derogatory music in the culture. They still support these artists that promote this music. And if the people were so inspired by the Rastafari viewpoint on self and personage, believe me, 80% of Jamaica would have been Rasta from the time Bob Marley trod out musically. And I'm not saying that Bob Marley would walk around or do a video like this current one that Fantan is doing. Yeah? I'm not saying that he wouldn't have 10 women in the video admiring him, but I don't think to the standard of where he grew up, in the times he grew up, that would have been the way to present a woman in her most sexual self. Bearing in mind this song is about sex and the prowess of a man having more than one woman. So this is something that has existed in the context of kings, generals, mighty men of the ages, right? What is the image Muta have it? Is the image and how it is presented. Ask yourself the question, why a Rastaman have to present that image to get his song of just something we do naturally as consenting adults, as man and woman across? Because you cannot put that anything to do with the depth of sex and its presence within our culture on one person, and an artist, and chastise a man for using a sexually explicit image. If the women aren't naked in the video, they are broadcasting standards, and for you not breaking the broadcasting standard where it is visual, I will agree. No, I'm not saying if it don't break the broadcast standard, it means it don't break a moral standard. My issue is identify clearly what is that moral standard and prove to me that the artist is immoral, right? And if the artist is immoral in his presentation, all I can do as a follower of Christ is pray for his consciousness to increase in a deeper sense of perception and clarity and experience, that him can go beyond such a shallow view of himself and sexuality. But I can't do that. I couldn't do that because that's just a song. and a visual of a song. So I couldn't go into the deep psychological analysis of Fantan Mojah because it's just the visual of a 3 minutes and 30 second or a 2 or a 4 minute and 10-second video. That's all it is. Right?
So
and you're gonna
do you feel like religion is part of the music then, or spirituality as Rastafari? Do you think that part of Rastafari bridging them who in the music inject that part of the music, inject that part of the culture into the music?
Yeah, I feel so. Back in the day, Rasta early spirituality was more Christian, and the early singer them sang more along the line of Christian pantheon, or the things that came up through the Bedouin times, right into the Howellite times, right? When Rasta has gone to a postmodernist, God as a supreme being, or Selassie as a supreme being, not as a God or anything relating to a Christian pantheon. So that has moved a lot of Rastaman to a lot of esoteric base and foundation and expression that wasn't previously exposed in Rastafari. So the moral edict of Rastafari was previously religious and Christian in its early. No Christian, it no like that no more. It's more on an individual. So it seems that enough people not Rasta don't understand this. So they are understanding the classic Christian-based Rastafari, traditional way, right? I know you have a postmodernist view now, where man is more educated, more access to information, and able to decide for himself what is his view of religion, spirituality, and culture within his expression as a human being or within his expression as an artist. Now, if you want to say the person being a Rastafari, who am I to judge a man's religious or spiritual, hallelujah, traditions, right? So therefore, I don't want to go there. What I will say now, religion, spirituality, culture in the music, I think that's been established, that has been in the music. So now, do you feel you ashamed the music by being that? I would categorize him as a Rastaman that has done a risque video on a topic that has previously been done. It might be a shift in earlier Rastafari view on how that should be presented, and I might even agree that he should have tempered it a little bit. But then, I am not Fantan Mojah. I cannot make an assessment upon someone's art or this craft based upon my own perception. Now, if you're going to ask me, am I going to do a video such as that, then I categorically tell you no. You understand me?
But why the I wouldn't do a video like that? Why the I wouldn't do a video like that? Because
why?
if
you ask me as a person, or you ask me as an artist?
As an artist, because when we kind of understand what the I say is like, righteousness doesn't sell in the music. Then anything explicit, then and X-rated, that is what is being sold. So the artist have to go to that extreme, then for him, for his music then to be recognized. Is that what the I say?
Yeah, it's like the artist is putting on a show, and it's like we're all actors, playing this role in life, and so some artists just basically giving the people what they want because this is what they have invested their time and effort and hours and years and months of their lives in. And yes, man, have hundreds of songs that talk about the deepest core of morality, the human ethical structure. And the same people who you are expressing it to don't see, don't respect, don't relate. So are we talking about music? Well, yeah, those are good songs. People might say, well, they're not sweet and they're not nice. Well, that's debatable because sweet and nice is based upon interest. So maybe if you're interested, you realize I see it so sing a little slow up on the key because I don't have that energy like some other people just because of my view of life. So to really go listen to a great old song or a poem, you really have to decide you want to listen to me for real. Because if you don't want to listen to me, you ain't going to listen to me because I won't catch your interest. Now I'll answer the question you asked in both regards. Why wouldn't I do that, a video like that? First, why I wouldn't do it as an artist? Well, number one, the kind of stuff for me do me feel like, say, I am being myself in what I represent in my art, right? Now, personally, I do think myself a handsome king and have a strong energy to attract women into my life. But to be honest, as a God, say, Ijah, say, I don't really have like 4 or 5 women on my bed like that. I go on with them things there. Say that now go on for me for real.
My lad.
You don't want to put an image out there like that, because that's not going to tell my life. You understand me? No, you have to tell you the truth. I tell my life, so I couldn't put that image out there, right? No.
Yeah.
Even as an artist, I couldn't put it out. It can't on me, right? No, why am I not that person? When I tell you, say, I am the most greatest person at everything, but I would think, naturally as a human being, I like to have time and space with a woman. I want to have more than one woman, you know, in the polygamous sense. What we find out was that jealousy was so intense amongst the woman them. You care when we try to talk about morality and some ethics, it comes like to some people want to rip themselves apart because of the attention of the singularity, which was I, the king. You understand me? So when we approach them, we approach it from an ideological premise. Say, Johnny, you have some man who really wants to be a king of all 100 women, you know. But him really attack a fantasy as a reality attack. I just like my head like. Because I don't want the whole of them living in one house in a certain way. I mean, I say that's not a reality because like a madness out to go on. So the real polygamous kings who have the queens to their lives have these many houses that the queens who own the properties because the king have to put it by their name to give the women the entitlement to make them no war against each other. Me don't know if man no know say them thing they real. So me don't have that because me don't have money like that. You understand me? Me don't have that temperament like that. So me couldn't just go sing a song to go make people go call me super king or super owl or super sage. Go pose with 5 skin to the clad women in a video spanking them around saying that me are the king. I couldn't do it because it would be a lie. Yeah, I tell you. Not that way there. But yes, me I'm a queen, yes, me I'm the empress, but not that way there.
I agree with what the ayah say where, you know, when man, you know, cause this is a part of African culture, Zane, when you check it, and there have to be a balance within, if you're gonna go in that direction, you have to have the money, you have to have the house, the land, and all these things. And then all these different queens, you know, they have to know their position, because you in Africa you have man with five wives, and not just 5, him not just have 5 women. You see me, I say 7 women. Him have 7 wives. These are legal wives. You understand? So is a total different thing when a man go say, boy, him have 5 women. Him sleep with 5 different women every day. That is a total different thing. But when you have 5 wives, it's because you can afford to deal with them on the same level, on the same standard. Zin, and the first wife go and always know say, boy, she are the first wife. Zin, and these things, and the second wife knows that she are the second wife, and whichever way it go within the African tradition who deal with it like that, everybody have an understanding that this is what is happening. Zin, so you now go hear one wife and say, boy, you know her husband go out and cheat and him have another wife now and all these type of things. That won't come into it. You see me I say? She are gonna know say is the next wife that, the next wife know say the next wife that, and it go on and on. You see me I say? To how much wife this one man can afford or attain. You know what I mean? So we as Rasta Zine, as Rastafari now, we supposed to have a wider understanding of certain things, and know say, boy, we cannot project these image as the ayah said, because that is not your lifestyle as a Rasta man. You understand? That is not how you live, Zine, and what you live is what you go and put in your music. You understand? That is the reality that you want people to see and to have an understanding of the eye. But when you project an image like that, then you are say, boy, all right, this is what Rasta do without any principle or moral standards. And you know that is not it. That is not Rastafari.
Or it's just the expression of one Rastaman who seemed to have taken the imagery of the sexual experience of having multiple women or multiple wives, you know, a little too far in the visual spectrum. The beauty about this thing is that, you know, if we can talk about these things and again reassert standards and re-examine the essence of morality within our music, right? The people who are moral and ethical in their expression of music, and the people who have a morality and an ethical and a religious view of life but produce music. So do they have to do what is their spirituality? But isn't that your spirituality will affect what you do? So I'm looking at it that Fantan is doing this from a deeper perspective, and as my assumption, no, I'm not saying this is what he's actually doing. I'm the one that's saying
Yes, I.
So from my perception, I think Fantan is expressing the essence of saying he is a king with many queens, right? And the essence of it being represented visually is a little too sexual to how the image of Rasta and multiple wives were previously represented. I think this is what this is. And so because I look at it that way, I ain't judging him for the essence of wanting to do a song to suggest those things. I'm just looking at it that, as I said, I wouldn't do such a racy video, but I know videos are supposed to draw attention. And if you do it all sanguine and beautiful, it only goes to the minds of those who are usually well-adjusted, mature, and already have processed their own ethics, you know, and the dynamics thereof. But as you know, young people drives music, what we call dancehall. And just to say it was a dancehall track, am I not correct on that? Isn't it a dancehall track?
Yes, sir.
The dancehall audience are, I wouldn't say, people might say they're fleeting with their morality. They're not fleeting, they're young. And young means a sense of innocence. And innocence means things are unknown. And so most people who do not know, the unknown to them is the stuff that is what we call refinement. And refinement is what is also called maturity. So when you're mature, you go from your raw sexual energy. As true, some man can't stand up in the mirror and look on his chest and feel like him is a king anymore. That's why maybe some man vex. But then and again, if you feel that you still got it, and as a bobo, as a rasta, as a ballad, when you step out of your car and you walk down the street, you know, people are gonna still notice. Maybe, you know, I mean, you feel more confident in your sexuality and your energy and yourself as a king and a man. And maybe, you know, that is more expressed, you know, through youthfulness. That energy matters. When you get older, you're mature, you have experience, you have wisdom. So maybe an older man looking at something like that, he's just talking too much out of his experience. And maybe I'm not that old, so I ain't talking that game. I can see that, I mean, people are full of life. Like I said, sex is natural. Neither me nor Fantan nor all these hot girls made it. I eat me could come here, yeah, and I eat make a generation stay here, so no. We can talk about all, no, we can talk about all represented. No, come in a friend for no guy. We can talk about all represented, you know, and we can, I mean, I'm not frightened for no intellectual discourse. We can talk about how we represent it, but to attack people's character. I mean, I say, you know, Fantan says some things out there where Swift soul around the internet where, obviously, when him said in retort to Mojah, where, you know, it wasn't well thought of to have said something that is conjecture and you don't have any actual proof of such things, right? That was kind of not wise to have said. But him apologized to a degree to certain things, and I realized that maybe, you know, just sometimes when a person don't understand, say, you have some intellectual people who are more educated and more experienced than you, and them can see your fault, but you have to watch them like a crowned dog, because why you have to watch them like a crowned dog or like a vulture? It's that sometimes they're smelling, yeah, the things that's a bit going bad. You understand me? So the vultures are there to devour. So sometimes we have to learn to keep fresh and healthy and keep these moral hikes, yeah, and harems and vampires off our back. You understand me? So now for the Rasta youth them who want to be relevant, I'd advise you, say, to find the true mastery in how the great kings have represented their decency, them sexual energy as a true king, because there's a higher level to sway the whole of the queen them and the empress them to your suave, to your vibe, to your swag, than just drop to the lowest basic standard, yeah, what anybody can do without intelligence. So I know when certain older man I tell them I say be more intelligent, but me never tell a man how to think. you kind of have to come see that for himself. You see? So right
True.
now, I say, when we are doing music, let us be true to what we are doing. And yes, sometimes we have to sleep because most young people really pay attention to this energy I call music. And old people just want to rock and go sleep and rub them belly together. But young people want to have sex and have fun. So you have to remember that before people just get crazy. And some people jealous when they get older because them things don't stand up. I don't look as good when she looks in the mirror. So because of that, it's no, I'm telling you, me not have Batman something. It sways people's views of
Reality.
things, and then prejudice and then and them jealousy just are, you know, cause maybe Fantan must say I try to say things there. So all the rest I said, Jalo, me never have two women come call me king yet now, and this man have his wife a woman in a video. Maybe that hurt someone feeling too. Maybe it makes someone feel like they're cheap, but then they don't realize that life is more than that. Because what about all those first wife, second wife, and third wife? When it's a standard that is respected and they have their economics with it, are they without respect? Eh? So I don't know if it's a derogatory to woman. I know so you have some things that talk enough time because the people who aren't willing to stand up, you know, aren't there to really represent to say, listen, you're just talking some blanket statements, accusing people, accusing with music. And if you're really genuine, we would have been further as a nation. Yeah, me I do my thing with me and my brethren, them, and me I tell you from me I do our thing. We see things, we see transformation. Yeah, and me I tell you so we're not perfection of nothing. Because when people come and them see that realize that people them and meet same way, but people still I say, yo, tree of life, brother Sage, you know, Raman, brother Bob, learning so much because we are the real life and we're not perfect around here like we are not got some vanguard and nothing. But just I say real life. So when you really do care about your fellow Jamaicans, you try to represent as a Jamaican, as a Jamaican, as a Taino, as a black man, as a black woman. You try to represent for your own people. Yeah, so come we talk with people, then we make people them know say, let us have deep, resourceful, resonant reasonings about things. And don't just jump to accusation because the enemy are we cuss yourself every single day. How can they live like the way they do? You ever see what them do yet? Them do some outrageous thing. You ever hear one of them pull up each other and call them certain things there? They almost want to go and even celebrate that and even acknowledge that it's far out, but it's the new this and it's the new that. We tear each other down morally and talk about, so, oh, as black people, God gives us a special gift. Yeah, to be a hypocrite, if anything else, right? That's what we are.
Rasta.
Yeah, a lot of time. Yeah, for real. For real.
Yeah,
because we can't love each other yet, all now. All now we still judge each other. You understand me? Yeah? If a Christian do a song with someone too like it depends on a reggae beat too much, the same people in the church are going to tell him and her certain things and start calling them name. Well, the whole of we live at Jamaica and reggae and dance and everything are bounce now we head back every day, right? Both on the secular and the non-secular. So why do they want to restrict people, right? And then they tell you they're doing it morally. And it's, as I said before, it's prejudice. Because a lot of people who make money from the music, according to people, are lazy people, people who don't want to work. So we have to overstand the moral edict to make them people act up. And why some people get up and talk is not because they care about the moral class within the country. You understand me? Is that something where them are try to represent for themselves. They don't have no power to affect that image anymore amongst people. You understand what I say? So they might jump up and shout up. They could have done more to stand for the morality of people in this country. You understand me? Because enough of us don't want to look on religious nature. Yeah, enough man fight on the Christian same way. But if the moral standard we have under Christ, you understand me? We can still stand for justice as a Rastafari, overstanding the Christian man, as a Christian overstanding the Rasta, or a non-believer and nothing. You understand me? And that make people work in unity. And we this, you know, the whole of we are Jamaican down here, so, you know, you understand me? The same man will say Rasta and the woman will say Rasta. Them come out of one yard will say ballad and will say police and one say system. And one yard them come out of one mother and granny and great granny, auntie and uncle them have. You understand?
My
so
Lord.
all of a sudden now, we're using the world standard for a judge ourselves and a member say, we do wrong, yeah. We not just say all of this is excusable. I'm saying stop hear the worst of ourselves out to everyone else to hear. And we cannot hear the right of ourselves. And no, we can't hear how beautiful we are as a people. And no, we can't get to that now. And no, we can't hear how joyful it is, how beautiful and how pleasant, how richly gifted it is to be awakened in the life of a Jamaican, a Jamaican, up on the mountain, down at the city, right on your bicycle, your bike. Where we there? How so? Why we can't? Why this is not reality? We love each other, we care for each other. The music, that one the music say, years me I say this one the music say. So even though me come see say, yo, the music will follow the mentality of the people. So why the people now follow the mentality of the early Rastafari music? Yeah, hypocrites. Talk about morality and you know moral and you know ethical. You understand me? And you want Rasta for ethical for you. You want Rasta for moral for you. You want one man to come talk for 2 hard or 3 million people. Come on, man. And we so vocal? No. Fantan a one man. Great Old a one man. IjahStars a one man. We can reach people by hearing, but we are not God or the most or however you see it.
My lord. Oh, the I see this reggae month. Seeing is it something that you see that is probably directly in Jamaica and it's not really international thing. And looking at reggae is an international genre. It seems like Reggae Month is only celebrated only in Jamaica. Or do I see it?
Well, in a sense, yeah, because I mean, people want to even think it's like a cultural thing because it's a reggae, but most it's a government initiative. It was initially, you know. It might have echoed the sentiment of cultural people still because we used to say it's Black History Month, you know, and the books, and so it would have been a cool, you know, adjunct or, you know, joining of the two forces. So Reggae Month would seem like really an overload of our culture being expressed as really reggae culture, and it being reggae culture, Reggae Month. But yeah, it's a mainly Jamaican thing because I think even International Reggae Day probably have more traction in the international marketplace than at home. The fact that it is a Jamaican event or a Jamaican experience don't mean that I revere it any less. Actually, I love it because it suggests that we are forward thinking and willing to do something. So at least some administration might do something in some regard or start the process, as it's never one time fix all. So yeah, it's local. But the thing about it is again, to, you know what I mean, it shows again the way we think about our culture and our musical heritage. You can't honor something where you don't like really. And you can't honor it just because the foreign and white people will come to Jamaica for the month they come, you know, spend and full up the place with some foreign dollars. You can't do it for that reason. You have to really like your music. So how can you really like your music? Well, one of the things we have to do is come out of the belief system and the prejudice that come because it comes from certain types of people and individuals that we deem beneath certain educated standard. And so most people up in the top feel like so because they can pronounce the English word properly. That means that they are more moral or ethical. And what a load of jargon. Understand me? And then the next thing too, not for them people that up top too, understand me? Them vex some of them youth where them consider nobody's have money or have enough money if you can represent themselves. Or even people know them name more than they know for them family name. And some of them must say them family they're in Jamaica for 300 years. You know why they even want to say that, but they must say, right? And Bob Marley tell the rest of Marley them say, him, them are going to know. You understand me? And nobody don't know about the rest of Marley them. You understand me? Or the Bob them know, they never know so the Marley family extend and they have for a while and they day in a history and a certain thing at certain level, right? You don't know that. Or the Bob them know about the Marley, right? So me I try to say is that the people who control these stuff, Reggae Month, you know, these cultural events in Jamaica, the current situation in the year that has passed has proven clearly beyond a shadow of a doubt. They don't care about the music. They don't care about the culture or the people, right? From the fact that they cancel everything to do with our festival or national holidays, things that deal with us. But you still want to keep Christmas and Boxing Days and the other thing them a Babylon love. And you come try to talk to me. You can't talk to me. I don't want to hear them. I don't no big guns, no body back. I don't no government, no nothing back on me. That's a man attack, you know. And when my stuff come for decay like everything else, and dust never turn and gone. So that's why I not kill up myself over these things. You understand? So if I do music, I just do music, right? And I wait for the accolades or the acceptance. But I know say we as the reggae producers, I mean I talk, maybe take myself out, come even then if you talk about we. The people them for the generations who have produced this musical culture in such an extreme, awesome and divine way. Yeah, me take my and I is the people, and I is the culture. So reggae month is 12 months of the year. But to not mess with the psychology, I say reggae month for I is 12 months of the year. Even 13 if I want to use Ethiopic calendar, just to be a little controversial. So I say, give thanks to this ideology of 28 days being worthy for a celebration of I culture when you're really mocking I, but give thanks because the mockingbird truly do sing still, so sooner or later you them start sing like I too, so who cares? They will hear.
Rastafari. And that are the reality. You see it? That are the reality we are facing right now. Enough of the youths, them them a sample out the music. You see me? A sample out reggae music, but I saw it go still. We not complain, because it's a building and it's a freedom to said way. It's a freedom to said way. Different from the music. What the I say the movements of Rastafari right now from when it started then to which part with the right now, present day?
Well, I really say, well, like I said, Rasta, them first view was most like, like the religious view and to a self-liberation. And I guess the man them reach to a level where them find self-liberation to a degree, self-identity for help with the individual perception of self-liberation. So I still say Rastafari was an integral part of the development of the individual non-colonial self-perception in Jamaica. Because the colonial self-perception is the reason why Fantan have to do that video there. So the non-colonial self-perception has helped a lot of people, you understand me, to come to an understanding that I can see myself outside of what is defined as myself by the powers that be or the aesthetical culture that is, which we call the colonial or the European, or we call Eurocentric culture, right? Colonialism, chattel slavery, if you didn't want to go back that far, right? But just the colonial mindset, right? Rastafari has been the most integral part. They didn't just come out of a vacuum, they came out of the Owelites and the Bedwood tradition, because of people seeking inquiry into the deeper self-perception beyond where your slave master and the boss slave them are trying to tell you, say, we are. That's why them prejudice, because them still feel like, say, the polished Harvard, Yale, and Oxford knowledge, you understand me, is better. But then when them come realize is that the deepest philosophers and psychologists, right, are the ones that are authentic, because the first man that give a degree, what degree did he have? So knowledge superseded a title, you see? So the title is that someone said them a professor, them a doctor, them a whatever. But Rastafari, the philosophy, the spirituality, the way of life, always superseded that. Because when the Rastaman talk, you wonder where did he get his doctorate in informatics, psychology, you understand me? Or in the very essence of anthropology, right? But the man have a passion to understand the nature of his existence. So when you do the thing actually, not for a definition, it's a greater impact you have upon the world sphere. So why I say all of that? Everybody knows that me is a pseudo-intellect or something. Me I try to say, not for them uptown people and the people them who don't understand Rastafari, understand one thing. They in their perception are copies of somebody's existence. And Rastafari is an original. How can a copy appreciate an original? It has no originality. So it can't appreciate. So why me I say that to come back to come say this? I appreciate love Rasta for the highest level. I grow into my perception of Yahshua and I'm original, and I don't carry the back to Africa philosophy like Rastafari. And I know myself to be a Taino, indigenous. I don't use a religious outlook or a spiritual outlook to define myself. You understand me? Do I follow Yahshua Mashiach? You understand me? Which I don't view as a colonialist do, but as a aboriginal, Amur Indian in the West. You understand me? First Nations. So this outside of the pantheon, enough man used to talk about. So me I say this to say, all of that to say this. How could I ever dishonor what Rastafari has represented to me and to Jamaica and to the world? One of the greatest spiritual forces that even though they were more religious, and I am more religious now in the early stages, I know they are more esoteric and, not looking at the way we looked at spirituality and religion previously, but in a more evolved way, closer to maybe a Eastern philosophy and ways of being. I admire the fact that every given Rasta youth you talk to right now, girl, man, young, old, have a sense of self that is explicable in only an original understanding. And you can't find original human beings on earth so easy no more. Still amongst the not yet young woman or young man, you have to find that, right? So even though Rasta now is far different in a whole heap away from before, and some people seem to be coming to grips with that. If you don't realize that even bald people is shocked how for them generation change from bald grandpa 100 years ago, 50 years ago, to bald grandpa to the bald grandpa to the different kind of grandpa. People don't know that. So I didn't know say Rasta, young Rasta, old Rasta today is a little different from Rasta, old Rasta 70, 80, 90 years ago. You understand what I say? So that's the things I'm talking about when you look at it critically and analyze it properly. Not just because you're in your feelings about, you feel because a man says something in this and in that, and you use the judging of another to demean his character but to uplift your own character. The prejudice-based things that we get from the European mind. You know, white racism not come from, you know. You understand me? That them still use if you think themselves. Enough of them know so they're not full free in Jamaica. Enough of them know so they're still subject to the British Crown, who still own the lands and the water and the resources of the land. So these things when you talk to Jamaicans about this, them get offended, right? So Rasta are the man will still tell you say talk about them things there. Whether the Rasta man are wear a modern looking garb, whether them have a brand of a European panel, which I'm against. I prefer you to wear your own brand, right? But because a man independent and you can't say you're a king and you respect a next king, you want to act for your king. That means you don't have no principle, right? You act for your next king. I mean, if you tell a king say because I wear something with a foreign brand and it's not a king, right? without, you know what I mean? No, I'm serious because now we have a culture down here, you know. We claim some man say them analyze things, you know, at the shallowest level. And all it is just tearing down our next man to put himself up because praise is a scarce benefit. You know, this it not go around too often. You understand? When man praise him, tear down him, tear at the same time. The Rasta still is honorable beyond any measure. We hear some guy upon the internet attack some things in his own philosophical view of Rasta, some ideological. He might not even Rasta, right? He might not even Rasta. I am a talk about some moralist notion. So tell the people who you are, so people can judge your morality and your ethics. You understand what I say? Oh, hypocritical and absurd. And some man only answer because his feelings feel hurt. Some man even analyze the thing to the efficacy and the truth of it. We say no man will not have locks on the head if you're telling nothing about who have locks on the head. You have no basis and premise to talk that way. How can Jamaican tell Rasta about who Rasta should be? All of Jamaica should be Rasta before you can tell Rasta where should be. Look how long Rasta sing music and a chant round here. Look how long we are singing and a chant. You can find out say the meat not good for you. You can find out say Babylon real. You can find out say no things the Rasta man tell us are real. And I know you have to tell man say about Rasta not for this, Rasta not for that. And you know all the locks for your head. Why you the Rasta? Why you the Rasta? You're out of it, man.
True.
You're not seeing reality.
Yeah, we're there today. We are reason with Jerome, Jerome Siege Butler, the grand old from Tree of Life TV. Am I right?
Yeah, man. Tree of Life Television and Sealer Media. Yeah.
And Sealer Media. Yes, I. Yeah, man. Jerome. All right, Bob. You understand what I say still. Some man shouldn't really, you know, if them really are going to talk or them really want to have something to say, you know, better them go take up the trad and come and stand up for something more than dust. You know what I mean? I trim off your head and I shave every day and I eat meat and all these type of things and you want to tell Rasta what to do. It not work like that. Zin, let the Rasta tell the Rasta what to do. Zin?
Exactly.
Exactly. May I listen to you very carefully and keenly. Zin, I remember back in the days, Zin, where you have Africans traveling to the West here, you know, specifically the Americas and you know, place like in the Caribbean and things like that. Zin, yeah, virgin like Mansa Musa and others who used to, travel to, to them side of the place here. The eye is saying that, the eye is indigenous, and we as Jamaican people, we are indigenous to the island of Jamaica. Zin. But at the same time, we know that we were taken out of Africa. Zin. So, more of it overstand if what the ayah say is some of the Jamaicans that are there are Jamaicans and are old that is on the island didn't came through the transatlantic slave trade.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. So we're going into anthropology now. We're not going to speak into ideology. So anthropological evidence of the skulls found and the bones and the fragments of the remains of the people who have been in this part of the world. Not one has ever matched any kind of phonetic, any kind of astral, any group like non-Negroid. So the Negroid has been here the longest than the Mongoloid or any other group that came in. So the ethnic base of what we call the Americas is the Amer Indian, which is the dark skin, red skin, early man on the planet, right? Now this is anthropological evidence of how old the Americas are, right? When this entire land mass was one land mass and they weren't islands, because the pyramids stretch all the way from Montego Bay, all around, all the way into the seas, all across what we call the Caribbean, because this was the Diluvian world, right? That was destroyed by the flood, by the deluge, right? So before the deluge, we had one land mass for millennia, right? So our cultures are Aboriginal, indigenous culture. Now, in all of the ancient texts, they speak of the time when they had the Great Crack. The Great Crack is the continental shift that caused the separation of the African plate and what we now call the Americas and the Caribbean plate, right? That plate created a vortex. Sometimes people refer to Bermuda Triangle or the equatorial currents that move from Mauritania and Morocco, and from those parts and those points in Africa all the way to the Caribbean and America. There's a current, right? And this vortex developed upon the crack and the separation because we are tightly in between certain land masses that were once together on one plate. Now the earth has tectonic movements, right? So you have the actual geological evidence of the tectonic movements, and you have the cultural movements of the tectonic movements, right? Which are now coming back into focus as the evidence of resurfaced over the last 150 years through man like Chick Ante Diop and so many other individuals who have done the anthropology. So why am I saying that? When they're talking about Africans brought over in chattel slavery, they have forgotten to talk about the narrative that the empires were black, that they invaded with military expeditions and campaign. Just so that they should know that. That when the Moorish Empire lost power in Granada, Spain in 1491, all the entire plane of Aboriginal, black and native species of man changed completely on the face of the earth, in that every other lighter tone, i.e. the Edomites, the white man, rose to power by the complete destruction, slowly but surely, of the Aboriginal empires. Now, the Moorish Empire had vassal states that these indigenous people had already been organized under Moorish, Muslim, Moro, Ethiopia, had already been the head of all these vassal states. So the culture, the philosophy of the world pre-1491 was all Aboriginal, black, and native. In all of our different languages, we honored a similarity of culture. Now, when the Europeans talk about the chattel slavery and the colonialism, and we now trying to resist that, and now talking about the back to Africa, we're talking about like a 500-year history that negates that before people were literally trading with Africans from the Almohad Empire and Almoravid Empire from the 1100 and 1300 and all. That was 1300 and all. That was 1100 and 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 1300 and all. That was our ancestors who had came back to us. My ancestors, the Tanos, told me that as my family, that we saw them leave at the crack. They left us, they returned. So whenever they come back, they always say they have returned to home, right? Reverse, not what. In international law, it is not African rights that are being preserved. It is Aboriginal, and Tarebaba, and indigenous rights that are being championed. Yeah?
So,
and Rastafari, and one more thing, Rastafari in Jamaica is recognized as an indigenous group. Because even if you claim that you are Ethiopian, Ethiopia is Moro. Moro was once the head of all of the Moorish empires and the vassal states. You understand? So our genetics would still have spanned the entire living cosmos, i.e. the earth plane, long before you have the separation of Africa and the Americas.
Rastafari. So what the ayah say? Not even what me hear what the ayah say. But a lot of ones, especially Rasta, Zine, and probably not even Rastas, but ones who are Pan-Africa minded. Zine, I go say, boy, no, you know, we come directly from Africa through the transatlantic slave trade. You know, a lot of ones. Even though I understand what the ayah say, Zine, but a lot of ones still I go try and go around that factual evidence of what the ayah is saying.
They still do it all the day. They are still doing it. They've been doing it for the last 100 years, from Shrikant and Ivan Van Sertima and Ben Buchanan began speaking into the anthropology of the Aboriginal people of the earth. Not every intellect will relate to things in the same manner as I am relating to it, because people have specific ethnic groups and family traditions to uphold. So I want to refer to people who use a spiritual and religious definition of themselves. I want you to go somewhere in law and tell me, where are you protected? If it does not say enshrined in religious rights, you have no protection. So how could it be that your belief system has no protection? Because is it actually truthful? Are you actually building anything on the truth? Or are you just talking? Tell me your genetic bloodline connection to any of these places you're talking about in Africa. Please remind me of your family ethnicity. Speak clearly. Don't tell me ideologically. And speak a narrative that's been spoken over and over. Because as we easily dismiss information, it's though we dismiss the truth of things. That is why we're still here talking about things which we are not engaged in ourselves, full of opinions, and have never done a research on anything. Do not know what is the origin of the human species, let alone talking about who we are. Yeah? All these definitions of who we are, purely ideological. Go and study history. Yeah? And know who the Tainers are. Not no straight ear Mongolite. They're Afrocoid.
All right.
Afrocoid means black people. The most intelligent of all of the people. The man named Christopher Columbus, to those who do not know. Mr. Cologne said these people he encountered, us, I and I family, the Tainos in Jamaica, was the most educated, intellectual, the most brilliant diplomats of any he had encountered in the America. because there are hundreds of us here in the Americas. There are Indians, right? And Indians because they call us the three Indies, and we are one of the three Indies, right? And indigo does not have nothing to do with the Indians on the landmass of India, because originally they were actually dark-skinned people. So Indian, not a postmodernist political definition of what Indian is, which is a person with some limp ear, which is really a Mongolid mixed with a European. Understand me? That's what this image that they're giving us is. You understand me? Of an Indian. But a real Indian is indigo. It's a black person. You understand me? And the history shows of us peopling the entire planet. The entire planet is ours. When you know anthropology, if you know linguistic anthropology, you know language, and you know who are the base language, which language was first, which was Paleolithic, not Neolithic. So if you study African civilizations, they told us they speak of the Neolithical peoples, but we are Paleolithic. When you couldn't define no landmass, Anuna, Gondwana land, you understand me? Rodinia. We're talking anthropological evidence of the actual denoted history of Earth. And though a lot of it is not being revealed carefully or clearly, because again, the powerful elites, they do not just want information released, because the reason why they have the authority over the earth is because they know more, and they have exercised greater knowledge therein than we do. And we are living on the regurgitation of knowledge. That's why I say, when you are truly authentic of the spirit, it is not because you're called professor this or professor that. It's because you're truly authentic and the search within soul is genuine. Rastafari still is the only grouping I see that is doing that. It doesn't matter if a Rastafari's mindset is anti-colonial in one set and is pro-Aboriginal, or is African-minded in one set, pro-African-centric, you understand me, or self-determinist and pro, self-awareness. It don't matter to me, because what I understand a Rasta man to be is to be a person who is actualized or in the process of being actualized. Now, when you actualize yourself, I know your family bloodline is mine. So when we conflate history again to prove that me and you is one, it's just really a philosophical notion that is not truthful. So when I actually know my bloodline, my traditions and my culture, even though we share the same skin, it's not the same. So I couldn't define myself by a religion or a spiritual belief. That's why I say when people do those things, they're not fully educated in why they do that. Do you understand? Because what does it really matter? What does it really matter?
Rastafari. Yes, I hear you loud and clear, my brother. Loud and clear. See? Loud and clear. And I think a lot of we shun away from some of these knowledge. Zin, and as I say, ones need to research, even go and check before you even start to, put down some of these information, because now we in the time of information. Information is out there like wow, like never before. When you hear the man them say boy, them put things in books, and because black people no read, them miss a lot of things. You see me? But now you have smartphones and you have Google and you have all these different type of things that can feed you with information. Not say boy all the information might be factual. You see me? I say it's a one of it, within himself.
Check it.
Yeah. Yes, cause enough of the things them whole lot of things out there, but is it factual? So
yeah, and a lot of people might be asking how you fact check it. So just to give a little slight inspiration on fact checking. Fact checking is that find out the period of time that you're researching about. If you don't matter about a particular character, let's use Marcus Garvey. Look at the period of time when Marcus Garvey was born, the people around him, and the age that he grew into his consciousness, right? To see if it's somebody in 1975 is espousing an ideology about Marcus Garvey, and then you're believing it to be that this is Marcus Garvey's ideology. But if you know the context of the time in which Garvey was in by studying other information from the time, then you can anthropologically now analyze the information and say, but why would Garvey make such an assertion in 1914 when this wasn't even on the state of human consciousness in 1914? You realize that these ways in which it is worded is stuff that came through the 60s movement or the 70s self-awareness or Black Power movements. Then you realize that somebody's refashioning something Garvey said to fit their idea. So this is what research is about. You are supposed to go now and say, wait a minute, but Garvey would never expose an idea like this. This idea is too contemporary. It's too contemporary. So you go back and you research his own peers and you see who was writing at the time. What were they saying? What were they writing about? And you can frame the argument more clearly. So you cross-reference information of the time. That's how you fact-check information. To know if this sits in the time
frame.
That the person who is supposed to have said it, who is supposed to have stood for it, is it sanguine with the times he's living in, or he's developed his consciousness in. So fact checking is cross reference.
Yes, I. So would the I, because Marcus is someone who say Africa for the Africans, home and abroad, born and born, and even talking about repatriation for black people in the Western Hemisphere back to Africa. Would the I say then Marcus was uninformed about going back to Africa? If we were native to this side of the hemisphere.
Okay, so in order to answer that, I'll go one step further in substantiating my point. Okay, so each individual has to first fact check the information. You receive it and you cross-reference it in the times and in reference to where you are, and find individuals, articles, publications around the time when these individuals are supposed to have lived and have done this work. So the first premise of Marcus Garvey's view of himself as an African in the West would have been informed first by the information he absorbed at the time he spoke thus.
Yes.
But hear this one thing. When Marcus Garvey started traveling to America and got into the Black conscious movement before its famous days, right? He became friend with one very important person that people see him in the picture of Marcus Garvey and do not know who he is. Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali is the forerunner of Farhad Khan, the forerunner of Elijah Muhammad, the forerunner of, you can keep going, right? Dr. Martin Luther King, the forerunner of Malcolm X, the forerunner of Louis Farrakhan. So who is Noble Drew Ali? Noble Drew Ali is a Aboriginal from the United States of America that has refuted the European definition meaning coming from its denoted status of the Earth's history, true heritage, and the true heritage of the so-called Black American. Is a nationalist. And nationalist not as the political philosophy of nationalism, but as we now know, Aboriginal. And so the knowledge of the times first influenced you, and you spoke in the information, in the language of the times. So in those times, the language available and the information available pointed towards this. But the experience of Marcus Garvey was with an Aboriginal who spoke about the indigenous man of the Americas being I am, I and I and I. Here's the next part now. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, just like Marcus Garvey. And again, Marcus Garvey was forerunner to them as well. Just like Marcus Garvey, they spoke of the Negro being brought across in the transatlantic slave trade. And Malcolm X talked about as, the Nation of Islam, and their philosophy and, going to Africa, and he went and he pilgrimaged in Mecca, came back and changed his whole argument because lo and behold, the man without nationality, the man without complete knowledge of self, went and encountered a truthful experience in the world, not the experience of the colonial slave master programming your minds. Then he went and recognized that we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Martin Luther King recognized that the black man in America is exiled in his own homeland. So should we be ashamed that we did not know this before? Or should we be empowered that through research proves these things? Marcus Garvey never knew these things when he first started his Act to Africa. Malcolm X didn't know that he was an Aboriginal when he first started, but before he died, he knew that. Martin Luther King didn't know that when he was espousing his religious tolerance, right, and suffrage, but he knew that before he left, right? They knew that they are Aboriginal. That means that it is studying the actual history of the planet, not the connoted information being taught to us, programmed into our mind. That is why you can never speak to a lawyer about something and ever get the same response as you do with someone who's actually standing there and experiencing it. Because when the lawyer begins to speak, you have to wonder what is real, man. Because what is real is far different from what is presented as conjecture. What is conjectured to be real. And real of a way it is presented. So all of the movements in the early 20th century was towards full freedom. They didn't know at the time that their nationalism movement is what would be today called indigenous Aboriginal movements. Because literally, we are still 3/5 human according to the colonial system that determines the definition of who humans are, especially so-called Aboriginal. We know as Aboriginal as ourselves, but they call us, black people, and they call us, if it's not even true, because we're not black, and how can they call our people black? It's all these things that are crazy things, right? But they do these things, right? Because eventually very few of us is standing up to realize that somebody told you that about yourself. That's not even true. That is not even true. Like almost, if you say to most people, they still can't answer you. Tell me a country named Africa. Tell me which country named Africa. Just tell me which country named Africa. We are from Africa. Please tell me which country named Africa. Show me your ethnicity, your bloodline, right? Please show me that. Tell me where you are from. Because we seem to be so confused about something that is so obvious.
So Africa would that be a continent now where I and I as a people, because you mentioned the people that was before the mongrel, so to speak. Zine was Africoid, that is the term they are used.
Yes, Africoid, yes.
Africoid. So that would make those people being African, or else, they wouldn't have the Africoid term there.
No, they use the term Africoid to mean, because again, remember these things are political definitions of actual things. So you group people into Australasian, into Mongoloids, into Caucasian, you understand me? So the Negroid, right, is the one, or the Australoid, right? These terminology, because you have the one in Australia, but remember say him no white, right? They still call him Aboriginal, right? Remember, all of us have a certain appearance and a certain actual connection to history. But when they take you, the actual man now, and your history, and define it as a political definition, and they are prejudiced against you, they want to destroy your nation, take your resources, and you use those people's definition of yourself. So there's no nation called Africa because we're not Africans. You understand me? We're Aboriginals. I already said that. Right? So that is not a political definition, but that is enshrined in law. That if you can prove your Aboriginal status by your bloodline, your ethnicity to the landmass on which you're on, that's the only way the law protects you internationally. Anybody who does not have that is not protected under international law, is a product and a service of the corporations that are held in trustees by the Christian leaders and society members of this Western world. The Shriners, the this, the that, the that, the that, the that.
So when them say Jamaican people are 98% West Africans, specifically from Ghana, Is that a misconception or a misinformation? Blessed love? Yeah, look like we have look like we have a connection. I don't know Kingman thing drop. But we're there, we're reasoning with the great whole Jerome Siege Butler. He's a special guest on the program today, and yeah, we're going through the pieces. You know what I mean? We're going through the pieces. A lot of interesting information is being shared right now. I wanna say manners and respect to all of the ones them that is in the chat room. Seeing manners and respect. Give thanks to them taking the time. We never answer the question. He never answered the question. All right. Jerome, the people must say you never answer the question in Mojah. For some reason, we kind of disconnected with Jerome. I don't know why. See, it not show, so we disconnect still. But I can't hear you, my lord. So if you can hear I man, there's an issue with your sound, your microphone. See? So the line still open and thing. So whenever you feel free, you can just jump in again. I don't know. If this Zoom thing, I'm not really used to this Zoom platform. Seeing, all right, large up the ones them in the chat room. These classifications are from different time. How can we be Arbor Joke Talk or Rastafarians who claim Ethiopians are sovereign? From Rasmaisha. Seeing, Winsome Greaves. 1884-85, the Europeans got together at the Conference of Berlin to name the continent as we know it as Africa today. See? Yeah. All right, let me just go through some of the chat them. Philip Witters, best of yourself. Walter Stone, manners and respect. Bubba Flames. Honors and manners. Saying, yeah, we're there. Mindset program. I don't know what's happening with Jerome's side of the thing. For some reason, we disconnected, but it's not looking disconnected. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing up and running again. I don't know why. We're not hearing no sound from Jerome's side still. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look like Jerome leave the meeting. I don't know. This them Zoom thing, and I really my thing still. But yeah, a whole lot of things said in the day. A whole lot of things we not even touch upon yet. You see me? I will probably go up until 8 if we can get him again. I go, kind of end this one and see if we can link up with Jerome again. We can link up with Jerome. We'll go up until about 8 o'clock. See? Another half an hour. So. Yeah, mindset program, IjahStars, we're there on a Sunday afternoon, seeing and Jerome Siege Butler is our special guest, and him say a lot of things. They never really did a take note, you see me? Yeah, but him say a lot of things, and some things I agree with, not everything still. And I know say a lot of people out there now really are going to agree still. So We agree to disagree, you see me I say, but at the same time, we have to balance the thing, you know what I mean, what is true and, you know, what is factual, you know, because a factual truth we are dealing with, you know, nothing more, nothing less, you know, factual information, factual truth, you see it, and we have to kind of match up these things and put things into perspective so people can understand, you see me I say, and direct ones where they can find the information, you see me I say, yeah, direct ones where they can find it, because not everyone you just go say something and everyone does, you know, agree with it. You know, people, I urge people to go and research for themselves, because that's what it's all about. You see me I say, get him back. I try to get him. Let me try another way. See, try to get the virgin. Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean. We yeah, the battery, the battery go flat a while ago. Then yeah, him battery go flat. So him a charge it up again and for go. See? Yes, my people. So you know, be with us and we are gonna connect with him. We are gonna connect with him in a short moment and thing. See? So yeah, I want to large up everyone who there hold it out with me. You see me? Yeah, we are going to go up until 8 p.m. tonight. So, I'm going to see if we can get him on the platform. Yeah. You see me? We'll try another angle. You see it? Yeah. It's a power cut, Bobo. It could be. You know, it could be a power cut, but you know, it shouldn't really affect us if it's a power cut and him have battery on him things still. Yes, Jerome, blessed.
Yeah, just get my battery, you know.
All right. You say your battery drop out a while ago. All right. Well, we can carry on this platform, yes, sir?
Well, we can just, we can seal up on this because I'll push.
All right. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So make we seal up. So we go up until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. So we have Jerome there, with we said we again the great old Zin, yeah, from the Tree of Life TV. Yes, our television. Celia Media. Yes, Jerome. So we're there and we are go through the paces. What the eye thoughts about where we there now in the world in terms of you know, the whole virus and the lockdown and thing, you know, how that has affect the eye.
Well, first of all, I have a different idea. They going through that, I had some spiritual encounter with all of those things, and I began to think a little bit different about that. Now, it's not strange when a person says that, because immediately the so-called educated amongst the first world thinkers are going to say, obviously it's misinformed, it's going off false information or ideology. But isn't it strange that all of these things fit to the T? Templates have been given to us from about 30 years ago about what is the plan of an agenda to bring about a one global system, one global market, one global government. I notice I did not speak anything religious. I'm not talking about nothing. I didn't mention any terminology that can be drawn back to that.
Yes, I.
That NWO something, not what that's the one global system, right? Manifested by the powers of the elites designing a new system where they depopulate the Earth's population because they said too much of us are here using up the resources, making it difficult for them to live at the highest quality possible because all those resources that were necessary to make the minority of beings of the highest level live at the highest level is being used up by billions of useless life forms. And so they want to destroy those life forms. And so there's not a man who has become a part of these new age movements who have not heard something about that. What shocks me is that one could say it's just a plot for some conspiracy theories. And I'm such, the first part of my reasoning sounds totally conspiracy, right? Here's the thing. So interesting. That things that were mirror the same things that were spoken of in these manuals. And previous to reading those manuals, I had no encounter of any such information or any such social control of beings like that. Then here it is that book brought it to me first, and the book was made by a former spy, as said. But nobody ever seems to know this because of course we're gonna challenge the information. Most people believe without actual facts, so I'm not trying to act like people. I'm going to tell you how I understand it. What I begin to understand is that this individual made some assertions about a time that was to come when there would be a government within a government and a takeover of people's rights and power by an hidden agenda. I'm just saying first time all of it that I read about. And that has made me not trust governments, organizations, and anyone promote such an agenda. No one independent. Well, so therefore, my opinions are based on my understanding of the lack thereof. I do not know what is the chimera or the makeup of any of vaccines or antigens, pathogens like are and lot of pathogens in nature of a sequence that's interpretable. But I know that from what I'm hearing, not that I have factual information of this, that these patents are registered in different places in this earth, so they could not be natural patterns. So if this is not a natural pathogen, what is it? And if it is unnatural, am I saying that something dangerous is not out here just because man made it? I'm not saying that. I'm saying I that subscribe to the word of my God or anybody who promotes that ideology that can be a human being and yet not agree with their beliefs and what they're willing to do. You have armed militia, armed individuals to reinforce the peace. If I go to a business and I said, under a protest of my sovereign right, I do not want to wear this mask endangers my sovereignty, I will not be allowed to transact this here. So if you happen to catch me for 10, 15, 20 minutes in this financial institution or this market, if I saw truth, you're going to see a mask in my face. But no, for 1 second, do not think I agree with the system or anything you propose. I cannot not buy or sell without that mask on my face, right? And as long as that's the way it is, I will continue. But the moment it becomes injected under my skin or the subdermal operation or anything else, I ain't going there. So this is what I think about this. I'm gonna mention religious, tell you the truth. None of guns are back, none of big not are back. Just like God, hallelujah. And I tell you, say, I do not know what people are speaking about when they speak about pathogen. I do not know what they're talking about when they're talking about they're going to use vaccines for the antigens. I do not know what they're talking about. Neither am I interested in what they're talking about, because what I do see is that they're destroying the sovereign rights of individuals. Martial law is in our society, and the security forces that are not securing us are empowered to do great harm to us. You understand me? Under the guise of this thing. If you speak, there's a lot of people about to tell you not what they're speaking about. I have not mentioned anything of any specific of anything that I need to be very specific about. I do not know what to talk. I do not know what this is viral thing talking about. I do not know why it is that individuals are doing this. I do not know if it is patented man-made pathogens to make money. I do not know. I don't subscribe to it. Like I said, in that handbook, it said the exact same things would happen when this system of our one world government and global system begins. See the artificial intelligence, virtual economy.
For some reason or another, my brother, we not hear you 100% clearly. I can see ones and
Okay, well, let me try something we can start. Because again, I see on net.
see him sitting.
I see, you hear me? Yeah, I say the same network where I do it artificial intelligence, you know? So guess what? I feel no way. I didn't see him one. But then again, like I said, I just there for live, the people there for live. I don't trust these world governments and their pronouncements because I don't know what is the actuality of all of these things. The day before they said that, I was the same. The day after they locked down the society, March 18, 2020, my mother's birthday, because I was having a party celebration for her. The moment they locked down Jamaica, yeah, I'm no different after than I was before. Though I've seen more hysteria, mind games, and I really wonder to myself, these current administration think that this is going to last an entire lifetime. Because for some strange reason, every news item I hear is about this. If this isn't mass programming or mass hypnosis, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. It is like people are going to get violent with you. I hear people chastising artists like there's no independent mentation anymore. There's no independent thought. I hear these news people chastising people and speaking lowly to individuals. I'd like one of them to come buck me on a road one day and come ask me something. And some people feel that some choice Jamaican words, and I go tell them some very choice, clearly denoted English words of how absurd, of how you're truly trampling on my sovereignty, and you're backed by armed militia, right? That's what you're backed by, would violently enforce your beliefs upon me. A healthy individual, you are going to impose martial law upon me, physically hurt me to enforce your belief system, to enforce your ideology. I do not know what to say. So I have nothing to say about these things except, my people, you better be wise. You better learn to start seeking strength in each other. Because this ideological warfare, you're going to have to say what they say. You're going to have to act by the protocol. Like I say, when I go to the supermarket, I go to the bank, I can't conduct business unless I have that mark on my face. And anytime they're going to say to me, I can't do it unless that is subdermal abrasion or it's under my skin, that's where I stop. I don't need to be religious. I don't need to be spiritual. I just know that this is forced and coercive, right? And subversive. That's what it is. And I know in this modern world, they kill people for speaking up. I didn't work for no lab. I didn't work for no organization. I have no hot pressing information. Yeah, I'm not no propaganda theorist. I'm not no conspiracy theorist. I'm saying people are taking these chimeras in these syringes and are wilding out. Am I wrong? Am I mistaken? Maybe they're lying to us. Maybe the people aren't the people who are on these vaccines. Maybe there's somebody else on it. Maybe, I don't know. But they're showing us images of people taking these things and then acting hysterical and berserk.
True.
So I don't know. I don't know. But maybe it's Photoshop. I don't know.
Rasta.
but I tell you, brother, I don't want to involve in none of it. Because without Photoshop power, a shot they can stay up on the photo grid. I don't want one in my reality. You know what I mean?
Yes, so we don't
I'm
want
afraid.
that shop there in our community at all.
I want that. I don't want that in our community, right? So me your government that play smart and people that talk intellectual. I want that to myself say, if I'm also not religious now. I'm wondering to myself, if these people have signed them soul over to some unknown entity, which are promising them some great experience beyond the normative life what we draw upon the breath. I don't know, because maybe it seems like some great thing is being offered up for the souls of our populace. It's like a mass experimentation are going on or something of the sort. And it seems like, say, some people think this is going to last for 25, 30 years or Vision 20, whatever. I don't know. Me, I wonder to myself is what's going on. I'm wondering because I want to know if this is in their arbitrary plans as according to what I've read in these documents I'm telling you about. And I'm not a part of no secret organization just before the system tried to free me. Because you know every transaction for everything, because everything is digital, so you can't lie about nothing.
You see it.
So you can't lie. So you know me no part of no this, no A, no B, no C, no this, no it, no nothing. Me just a man I walk me two big eye them and me big ears and now me I walk me big mouth and I say, you know what them depend, you know? Me hear so much expert that threaten people with very serious inflammatory language. I mean, know them have only a liar back of them, only a big guns and machine and powerful nuclear and all that thing back of them. But me no back of them. I want to see them clearly in my eye what them I do. But if I'm going down, I want to go down, see. Yeah, I want to see who face me.
Rastafari. A reality, my king. You see it. Reality, Bobo, cause them people are evil. Are evil them a practice, you know? Yeah, evil them a practice. But
well,
we continue because as you say, this thing now gonna last 20, 50 years as what them think it gonna be. You see it, so we as a people we have to just rise up. You see me I say, and do what we're supposed to do. You see it, yeah. And don't make.
And I just want to bless up the people that were listening before I tried because that other moment has come upon me.
Yes,
so you have some other moment to take care of. So we just want to give thanks, for yourself and IjahStars for really giving always a clear perception or an alternative perception to a lot of the regular arguments being presented, giving, some inquiry from the individuals who you encounter creatively, spiritually, perspective, And I give thanks to that. And regardless of the technical issues, me never do none of them live yet for the last for all the people I'm doing it, and it has ever been anything else but this. And one time I used to hear technology, and now me depend on technology. So still me have to abide by a higher law. Because even though me say, if you still have the true faith, and there's a law that governs even the spoken word, you're supposed to be able to say something same way, right?
True.
And it be heard. People might ignore it, but they hear it, right? So we know that a lot of it wasn't clear, and sometimes, some other issues. But beyond that, I give thanks for this platform. I give thanks for the opportunity. I give thanks to Brother Rahman and his wife and his family. I'm at their place currently because we do our, work on the weekend and edit up our videos on social media.
Yeah, man. Bless up your family, manners and respect.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, and blessings, to all of the ones, as I say, who follow the Rastafari movement, not just as a practitioner of Rastafari, but just as a person who loves, humanity, life, and just your fellow humans, So big up to all of the kings and the queens, those making music, those who are followers of the people who make music, and those who just love music, love creativity, love consciousness, love spirituality. Those are the Jamaicans, Jamaicans, whether you're African centric, Aboriginal, none of them. You just have to say, I live, love all around, respect.
Rastafari. And there you have your latest single out. What the title of the single and where them can find it?
Well, the latest single is called Illuminous Natty. The illuminated Natty, yeah? And Illuminous Natty can be found on all major platforms, the same ones where you can't access in Jamaica, but it depends on them, Spotify, it depends on iTunes, YouTube Music, these are all of the different music platforms. You name them, it depends on them, you know what I mean? And my previous release before that, Love the Trad, it's also on all major platforms. And today, as we're speaking, my third international release. And incidentally, the agency, let me tell us, who deal with the licensing and so say, if you have 3 international releases before, you can even be considered. I saw them do it for them thing. But anyway, still, today, the third international release came out called Black Queen by yours truly, the great owl, aka Jerome Butler, So I give thanks to Dan Rayleigh, out of America, out of Texas, my producer who believed in me, It's a EDM EP. I got 6 tracks, and I'm working on some other little tracks with a few of my Jamaican artists, brethren and friend, and some international work. So I give thanks for the people who've been listening to the poetry from Edna Manley, Trail Life days, just traveling out through Jamaican culture. The people that listen to LSX, my poetry group, and the people are now involved with us at Sela Media, Trail Life, and now my third international track out, Black Queen, and the one that I think you have and you might play to take us out, Illuminous Natty. And it's quite an achievement. I give thanks, that amongst everything, I still seem to be able to produce some amount of palatable content where it can reach the people when they want it. Cause they don't have to want it, but if they want it, it's there.
It's there.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I. Yes, I. Yeah, give thanks, Jerome, as they mention the track, taking us out. I don't normally try to, play some of the tracks them on the platform because I know of the copyright issues and stuff like that, and me not really want to get a strike from them people, yeah. But we have the Flaming Monday, which is tomorrow, where we feature songs like these. So we'll be featuring the song, as a premiere still, because it's fresh, and yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll be featuring.
Absolutely. We look forward to watching that
tomorrow. Yeah, man. Live on the Facebook. You see it. So we give thanks again, Jerome, for the taking the time. It's it's a great and a good facility, my lord. You know what I mean?
Likewise to King. Blessings to the I family too. And keep up the work, just keep up the energy of bringing forward that information. Strength and blessings until the next time, King.
Majesty. Yeah, man. Peace and love to the entire family, my lord, of the Tree of Life and Cedar Media and Immediate, More love, more strength for I. Yes, I. Rastafari. Yes, my people, there you have it. Jerome Siege Butler. Yeah, man, the great owl. Yes, I. Special guest today. And I want to large him up. Want to large him up on the work he's also doing, differently from recording artists, you know what I mean? As you know, he's on the Tree of Life television, Zine, previously Celia Media, Zine. So, them can check him out on the YouTube also. Check out him YouTube page and check out where I'm going with if you're just get familiar with the Virgin, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, check him out. Jerome Siege Butler, you know what I mean? Tree of Life on YouTube. Zine? Yes, my people. So, more love, more strength, manners and respect to the item who take the time today for, there with we and reason with we as we reason with the item. You see it? Yes, I. So, give thanks for the item patient listening and rapid attention. All right. We're there again this Wednesday. Our special guest on the program this Wednesday will be RASTAFARI. Yeah, one of Jamaica prolific dub poet. Zine. And I think what more on the item for check out also. More on the item for check out RAS Internet Radio. Yeah, RAS Internet Radio is a radio station that has now launched by Mutabaruka. Zine. So check out Mutabaruka and RAS Internet Radio. I think it's $5 a month for subscription. Zine? Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes, so check out RAS Internet Radio by Mutabaruka. You know what I mean? A host of great people will be hearing on the station there. So check it out. you know, on the net. You see me I say? Just Google it. RAS Internet Radio. Yes, Bobo, what you say no meeting? I don't know, you know. I know say I personally probably not going to be in a no meeting still. You see it? Yes, I. No meeting for I, my lord. You see me? I say, but if I get the link, you see me? If I get the link, of course, but I don't see them I send I the link as our after 7 already, and normally that would have seal up. But we give thanks. We're there again this Wednesday, 7 till 10 UK time, and there them can check out the entire streaming on www.IjahStars.com. All right, that's the thing there. There them can check we out through Reech Live Radio. We'll be streaming through Dessa. All right, so more love, more strength. So we are see the item again this Wednesday right here on the YouTube channel. I just started mindset. If it's the first time the item are tuning into the platform here, the item can you know, just please subscribe, share, like, comment. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, and yeah, spread the love, spread the word. See? Yes, I. So more love, more strength, my brothers and sisters. See the item again this Wednesday, Zin, 9 p.m. sharp. All right, 9 p.m. we're there with the RASTAFARI sharp. 9 p.m. UK time. All right, manners and respect, peace and love.